How do you come up with good game ideas? Today I will answer this question because my way of coming up with game ideas is kinda unique. I can guarantee you this video will help you, but not right now. To understand, you need some context at first. My first game was a game called Skyscratcher. This game was made for a project for school in the last school year. We had to do a project for like the last half a year and present it to everyone's family and just really get the experience to make a whole project up by themselves. Like that was the idea behind this whole thing. And in this project you could do everything. You can build a house if you have the experience and the money and stuff. But most of the people build some furniture or they built a gaming PC or something like that, and I programmed a game, and that game was Skyscratcher. So I had to come up with the game idea kinda quickly because, well, I just only have half a year and I really want to spend that half a year on the game and make it a cool game, a big game, and not just like a cheap mobile game. I want to make a real game in this half a year. So I brainstormed a lot and I really had to evaluate my options, what I can do and what makes sense in this time span. But I didn't come up with a game idea like instantly. To come up with a game idea, I got inspiration by like YouTubers which do indie development. Like I see their characters and I think, wow, that's a cool character. I also want to make a character like that looks kinda like that with that art style, or I want to make a game that looks like that or plays like that or have a similar game idea. And through that you naturally keep track of those things you find cool in your mind, but you don't really write that down anywhere. You just have it at the back of your mind when you really watch those videos and also really concentrate on the videos. So through that you get a lot of inspiration and also a lot of ideas, because when you are creative you are not inventing something completely new. That's just not possible. You always take inspiration, and because you don't actively take inspiration by writing it down, just keep in mind you will think that more of the idea is your idea, so you will find your game idea cooler and you also can get some better or more unique game ideas. And that way the process is also not forced, because you don't sit down, go on YouTube and search for indie game development to find some inspiration. You just casually lay in bed, watch a video to get to sleep, and then you see this character or this mechanic and you keep track of it in your mind. So I came up with this character called Pablo pretty quickly, and I know I seen those paper characters somewhere in some videos, but I don't saw a platypus in those videos. But I also like platypuses and I really want to make a character like that. So those two things kind of combined and Pablo came to be this way. And I also made a kind of 40 game because I watch a lot of 40 games and it was a good option to make a 40 game for a game that just should take a half a year and is kind of small. And just like that I had a game idea without actually doing any work, because I actually did all the work before that by watching those videos and getting inspiration and also playing games from smaller creators. Let's talk about the game I'm developing actively right now, only Control. You can check it out on itch.io, by the way. Also, after this full project, I took a break from game development because I didn't have another idea for a game, and game development takes a lot of time and I just want to spend the last quarter of a year with my friends and hang out before we all go to work and a new part of the life begins. But in the back of my mind I also kind of thought of a new dream game, quote unquote, and I wrote down a lot of ideas, but all that didn't really work out because I never started the game, I never worked on it, because I wrote those many different ideas down but they don't really come together in a natural way, and I had many cool ideas but I just threw all of them out of the window. And also, if you like get inspiration and write it down and you want to make a game in the future out of that, you won't do that maybe because your interests change. But then school finished and it was summer holiday, and after the holidays I would go to work. So that means I have a lot less time to make a video game, and I kinda decided, yeah, I won't make another video game in some time because, well, I don't have the time, I don't have an idea, why should I worry about it? But then at some night something happened. then then a small spark ignited this whole flame of creativity, and I thought of a new game. All the inspirations from the YouTube videos and other games I played came together in my head and shaped this new story, this new world of Only Control. I really just thought of this game, I thought of the whole story, I thought of the character, I designed the character in my head, and everything just came together and fit perfectly like puzzle pieces, and all of that just gave a nice and big picture. And that was a random night at the last week of holiday, and I had a new idea, and with a very good idea I stand up the next morning, I wrote everything down I thought of the last night, and the story came to be. I fleshed it out a bit and I started modeling my character, I started to test it out in Unreal Engine, and the rest is history. The game is at the point as it is right now. So what can you learn from that? If you want to make a game or try making a game, don't sit down and try to come up with game ideas, because that will just not work. You have an empty sheet of paper in front of you or an empty Google Doc in front of you. You won't come up with game ideas on this blank white canvas. Just watch videos you enjoy, play games you enjoy, and you will naturally take inspiration and think with this game developer mindset how you can put different things together and make new characters and write a new story with some story beats from this game and some inspiration from that game. And with this whole mix and match, you will come up with a new game idea. Because if you force it, the game idea won't be good, at least in my opinion, because that's like a corporate mindset. Like, we need a new game idea, make one right now. This doesn't work. It has to come naturally. You have to be creative for that. You have to really let your brain loose and think of new things, however crazy it may seem. And if you aren't sure if your game works, just make a prototype or try it out, or really think it through, or tell it somebody how they think about your game idea. Really get some feedback or something like that. Just don't try to come up with game ideas on the spot. That doesn't really work, at least in my opinion. And I also hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comments if I should make more videos about game development, and also check out Only Control on itch.io. It comes out soon. Have a great day and bye bye.